If your truck is being used in these protests, your corporate accounts will be frozen. The insurance on your vehicle will be suspended. The consequences are real, and they will bite. It is time for you to go home.
Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland rejecting claims of government overreach and saying there will be zero tolerance for new blockades or occupations as police action ramped up outside Parliament to clear out the convoy ahead of a potential fourth weekend of unrest. And all that going on while sparks were flying inside the House of Commons, where Prime Minister Justin Trudeau defended invoking the Emergencies Act over the unrest.
The federal government invoked the Emergencies Act. For the good of all Canadians, the illegal blockades and occupations have to stop, and the borders have to remain open.
Throughout the last 3 weeks, the Prime Minister has failed to take meaningful action to de-escalate the protests. Instead, he has jumped straight to the most extreme measure. He has, for the last 2 years, disregarded these Canadians, called them names and insulted them. It is time to show leadership for every one of us and say no to this Emergencies Act. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
It's no secret that the convoy stated their mission, which was to overthrow the government. It sounds ludicrous, but they brazenly posted that on their website, and they reiterated it.
Order.
Comment le Premier ministre peut-il prétendre dès le début?
How come the Prime Minister say that there's no other means to intervene? And how come he cannot exclude the other provinces such as Quebec who do not want to be subject to the use of the Emergencies Act?
Members opposite were out there taking photos and encouraging those protesters to keep honking in the middle of the night.
The minister has repeatedly stated that there is an ideologically motivated violent extremists. There is a small group of extremists who are willing to use violence. The minister failed to provide any evidence. Parliamentarians deserve real evidence, not conjecture from this minister, before we can ever contemplate suspending the rights of Canadians.
He operates from the false premise that the Emergencies Act is any kind of suspension of charter rights. It's not.
The hours-long debate continuing from there. The Conservatives and the Bloc doing as expected, not expressing support for the first ever use of the Emergencies Act. The NDP, meanwhile, continuing to signal it is backing up the Liberals' decision, and that NDP support is needed to keep those new powers in place. Melissa Duggan, City News.